The Coal Creek Festival is coming up here pretty fast, and I have one of the lovely, lovely artists that will be playing there here with me in studio right now, Jeffrey Straker, the man, the myth, the legend. Jeffrey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, so you're getting ready here to perform at the Coal Creek Festival August 23rd at the Roche Percee Regional Park. Have you been to the Roche Percee Rocks there? The lovely place, by the way.
I've not been, and so I've not been. Short answer, bit of a longer answer. I'm a real Saskatchewan tourist nerd. Like, I nerd out over Saskatchewan touristy things, and it bothers me that I've not been there yet. So I am so excited that I get to finally see this rock,
Jeffrey,
and the festival. But the rock, I know.
My goodness, come on, man. Well, you know what? Best way to do it, you get to perform just right beside it, and once you're done, you can take a stroll over and just hang out and see the marvel that is the Roche Percee Rocks. I was there not too long ago as part of coverage for another event, and it is stunning. It's great to see in the middle of the day, but if you're able to catch it at night, oh, so good.
My Instagram will be plastered with photos.
I got to tell you, man, like I've been enamored by your story. Dan had kind of given me a little bit of a breakdown here. You wrote a song for the King, and he loved it. When you're approaching projects, when you're approaching your own songwriting process, Jeffrey, where do you start? How do you even get going on that?
Oh my gosh. It's a seemingly simple question, but it's a tricky question because it really can change. It changes over time. And I think the more I do it, the more it changes. Generally speaking, for me, I start with a lyric idea, or there's like a subject or some topic I want to write about. Some writers start with a musical idea first. I typically don't. Because I'm very much a storyteller through my songwriting. It's like folk storytelling type of lyrics that I write. And so typically for that reason, I'm kind of gravitating towards what's the story topic. And even if I settle on something like, say, when I fell in love, if I wanted to write a song about love, or when I realized I wanted to write a song on my last record about grain elevators, it's one thing to have that topic, but to me, the magic and the voodoo, almost, if you will, about the songwriting is like, you got to distill down to like, what is it specifically about that thing that is going to be your unique way in to tell a story that hasn't been told before? And so, for example, when I put on my last record, there is a song about grain elevators, but you couldn't just write a song describing a grain elevator. I think that would be incredibly boring. So what I did is I imagined one on its last day before the bulldozer pulled up. And as the bulldozer pulled up, what was going on?
Once again, letting go. It was so much more than 2x4s and timber. That grain elevator was coming down today. Under their breath, people said goodbye. They tried their best to take it all in stride. They just got used to doing it that way.
And all of a sudden, if you can distill in on that angle, like I think you've got something a bit more interesting, So the process is iterative. There's a lot of rewriting involved, sitting at my piano, going away from my piano, being frustrated for a while. Like, it's all part of the process. But when you get something you like in the end, it's very satisfying.
Is there ever a song that was difficult for you to write and difficult for you to perform? It's something that tugs on the heartstrings, or something that has meant so much to you that you'll still play it on your shows. You'll still play it all over the place, but it's become difficult for you to perform because it's just that emotional.
Yeah, there have been some, and interestingly, from my experience, it's almost like the inverse of what you described happens. Like, they're initially harder and they get easier with time, much like, I would say, going to therapy. If you go to a therapist about a topic, the more you go to therapy, the easier it is to talk about it. And so songwriting is very much therapy, and so is performing. So the more you do it, the more you kind of get used to the feeling, I think. But there's been both of my parents have passed away in the past 6.5 years, sadly and unexpectedly. And so there have been songs about them that initially, like, as I wrote them, I was sobbing. And then the first couple of performances was also very hard, and I cried a bit. But now, that deep grief seems to be able to be almost channeled into enjoying the song. And I also feel like it's I'm sure some performers would disagree with me, but you almost have to not let that get in the way of sharing that experience with your listeners. I think you have to allow listeners to experience what they're going to experience live. And if you're there crying through your song, God help you. I mean, it almost sort of impedes their ability. You know, of course it's really emotional, but I want them to enjoy that song too. And if they have something to feel in it, I want to allow their feelings to come through. So, yeah, I find that over time it gets easier to sing these really tricky songs, and I think that's just sort of part of the process.
Now, from songwriting, from pen to paper, to the studio, then to the stage, of course, you love performing. We've seen you a handful of times here in Estevan and Southeast Saskatchewan quite a bit. You're coming back here for the Coal Creek Festival. So, I mean, I don't know. I'll say it, but it sounds like Jeffrey Straker is a pseudo resident of Southeast Saskatchewan. What's some of your favorite parts of coming back to Southeast Saskatchewan? You perform here quite a bit.
Yeah, I love it down there. I mean, and to be clear, since I was born and raised in Punashai, Saskatchewan, anything south of Regina is the south from me.
I was going to say, that's pretty far up north, Jeffrey.
Yeah, for you guys, I might as well be in the Arctic Circle. But you know, like I love going down there. I was just down there. I did a show at the Souris Valley Theater in Estevan. I performed in the past in Weyburn. Before the burning, the venue burned down in Forget. There was a great venue there, Radville. Although it's the Southwest, just this weekend I was in Val-Marie, which is also really close to the border. You know, the whole South has been very good to me. Audiences are wonderful. I think part of it is I have several songs that really connect to Saskatchewan and tell a Saskatchewan story, and they seem to really resonate with listeners there. And they're just good people down there. Like they're down home, down to earth. Hard on sleeve type of people. And that's kind of how my music is. So I've always feel like there's a real good connection. And also, there's some people down there who, when I've gone to shows, have baked me some really nice pies.
Aww. Do you chow down before the show, or are you?
Yeah, they've brought them to me as gifts before the show, and I've got a sweet tooth, so that's gone right to my belly and my heart at the same time.
Now, you are coming back for the Coal Creek Festival. You're performing right beside the rocks in the Roche Percee site there. It's going to be beautiful. How excited are you to come back again? What is this now, like your second or third performance this year in Southeast Saskatchewan? Yeah. Second, third, fourth. I don't know. Like I've been down there quite a bit.
It's going to be lovely. It's always lovely. I've never performed at this festival before, so it's my first time getting to perform at this festival. I'm positive it's going to be a really lovely experience. The interactions so far with the organizers have been so great. And festivals are really neat because you get a chance to perform for and then meet and interact with people who you haven't crossed paths with yet, who might not have come to your show because they've come to see one of the other artists in the lineup. And there's this great kind of cross-pollination of artists and fans and community. It's a sort of this real musical community builder. So I think it's going to be a hoot, actually. It's going to be really fun.
What's your favorite part of performing to a live audience? The sizes can range from just an intimate set between 20 and 30 people to a festival like Coal Creek where you've got hundreds, close to 1,000 people in one site. What's your favorite part of being able to share your music that way?
Oh my gosh. My favorite part of a festival is really clean porta potties. But other than that, I do. No, in all honesty, like I love connecting with an audience. And that does not mean people are standing up clapping. That's not what it is at all. You can feel from the stage when there is a connection between music and an audience, and you can see in an intimate setting, like so those 30 to 40 sort of little situations like you talked about, you can see it in people's faces because you're right up close. That's wonderful, but you can also feel it in those bigger venues. And I've never done this for audience response. I've realized the thing that motivates me over the years. I've realized it's connection, and getting to go somewhere new and feeling a connection with folks during the shows, and then meeting them after the show, and maybe signing a CD or a vinyl or something, and like just chatting with folks. I think that's what's always really sort of filled my cup. So here I come, Southern Saskatchewan.
My goodness, we are so excited for you to come down to the Coal Creek Festival Saturday, August 23rd. The gates do open at 11 o'clock, and I suggest you get there early because, Jeffrey, you are starting right at 12:30. You are the very first artist of the day. Oh, man.
No pressure. No pressure.
None at all. Hey, what can we expect with your performance there? Do you want to give some hints as to what songs people are going to be listening to, or do you want it to be a surprise set for everyone?
Well, I'm going to be performing several songs from my most recent record. So my most recent record has a lot of prairie theme songs on it. It's called Great Big Sky. It, in fact, this year won me a Canadian Folk Music Award. So I was pretty proud of that. And so singing some songs off that, I'm going to be performing as a duo. So myself, as many of your listeners would know, and if they don't know, I'm a singer-pianist. So I'll be at the keys. I have a guy, my sidekick, Bryn Bessie, joining me on acoustic guitar and harmonies. And we just go through a whole bunch of songs in my 45 minutes to an hour that I have with the audience, and try to sing some songs, tell some stories between the songs, and leave people feeling good.
If I had the opportunity to do so, Jeffrey, I would give you an Eras Tour level of a set. I want a 2.5 hour, 3 hour set with you, my friend. I want to hear all of it, and you get to catch him at the Coal Creek Festival Saturday, August 23rd. Jeffrey, thank you so much for joining us here. We're gonna link all of your stuff, including your most recent record, your Apple Music, Spotify, your social media on discoverestevan.com. It has been such a pleasure to meet you and getting to talk to you. And really, we're just waiting for you. I'm waiting for the 23rd here to see you live.
Can't wait. And if we could just bottle up a little bit of your energy, I think we could power the Coronac power plant.
Are you saying my energy's way too high? You know what?
No, it's good. It's good.
I got it. You know what? Hey, if I'm there, I'm gonna try to get on stage. You might have to stop me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to ruin the set. Jeffrey, thank you so much for joining me here on the show. It was so lovely to get to meet you. More details on discoverestevan.com. The Coal Creek Festival is on at the Roche Percee Regional Park, August 23rd. Jeffrey Straker is the first performer at 12:30. Gates open at 11 o'clock. Jeffrey, thank you so much.
Thank you.